Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the latest updates.
Sitting US Vice-President Mike Pence and Democratic Vice Presidential nominee Kamala Harris had a fiery face-off in their debate in Salt Lake City, Utah. Fracking, tax cuts, healthcare, even police brutality were just some of the hot topics. COVID-19 was an especially sticky subject considering Pence himself is at the helm of the coronavirus task force, which is responsible for containing the virus in the US. On this episode of Delhi to DC, we take a look at some of the most memorable moments from the debate, including some of the most heated exchanges between the two candidates. First up was Mike Pence's plagiarism remark in response to Kamala Harris's plan on how she and Joe Biden would contain the pandemic in the US.
The reality is, when you look at the Biden plan, it reads an awful lot like what President Trump and I and our task force have been doing every step of the way. I mean, quite frankly, when I look at their plan that talks about advancing testing, creating new PPE, developing a vaccine, it looks a little bit like plagiarism, which is something Joe Biden knows a little bit about.
Second was Kamala Harris's sharp responses to being interrupted by Pence.
Well, let's get but Susan, this is important.
Susan,
I want to add, but
Mr.
Vice President, I'm speaking.
I have to
I'm
weigh
speaking.
in.
$400,000
He said he's
a year.
going to repeal the Trump tax cuts.
Mr. Vice President, I'm speaking.
Well, wait,
I'm speaking. If you don't mind letting me finish, we can then have a conversation, okay?
please.
Okay.
Third was when moderator and journalist for USA Today, Susan Page, called Kamala Harris by her name.
Susan,
Their parents
President.
and their
I'm
children.
sorry. Kamala Harris, Senator Harris, I'm sorry.
It's fine, I'm Kamala.
No, you're Senator Harris to me.
When asked how the two candidates felt to be part of their respective tickets, Mike Pence stepped over party lines to compliment Kamala Harris.
The American people have a right to know about the health and well-being of their president, and will continue to do that. But I'm just extremely grateful and was more than a little moved by the broad and bipartisan support. And Senator, I want to thank you and Joe Biden for your expressions, genuine concern. And I also want to congratulate you, as I did on that phone call, on the historic nature of your nomination.
Thank you.
Well, look, I respect the fact that Joe Biden spent 47 years in public life. I respect your public service as well.
Thank you.
There was also the part where Kamala Harris recounted the first time she heard about Donald Trump's tax returns.
We now know, because of great investigative journalism, that Donald Trump paid $750 in taxes. When I first heard about it, I literally said, "You mean $750,000? And it was like, no, $750. We now know Donald Trump owes and is in debt for $400 million. And just so everyone is clear, when we say in debt, it means you owe money to somebody.
Let's not forget moderator Susan Page's outburst when the two candidates were speaking for far longer than they were allowed.
People deserve
I
to
didn't,
know.
Vice President Pence, I did not, excuse me,
Susan, the
I did
American
not
people
create
deserve
the
to know
rules for tonight.
Joe Biden.
Your
and Trump-
campaigns agreed to the rules for tonight's debate with the Commission on Presidential Debates. I'm here to enforce them, which involves moving from one topic to another, giving roughly equal time to both of you, which is what I'm trying very hard to do.
Go right ahead.
So I want to go ahead and move to the next topic.
The issue of fracking, which is the process of drilling down into the earth and pumping millions of gallons of fluid under great pressure into a well to break open rock and release gas, also got a lot of airplay on the debate. Mike Pence and Kamala Harris sparred specifically on this subject.
Joe Biden will not end fracking. He has been very clear about that.
You're entitled to your own opinion, but you're not entitled to your own facts. You yourself said on multiple occasions when you were running for president that you would ban fracking. Joe Biden looked at a supporter in the eye and pointed and said, I guarantee that we will abolish fossil fuels. They have a $2 trillion version of the Green New Deal, Susan, that your newspaper, USA Today, said really wasn't that very different from the original Green New Deal. More taxes, more regulation, banning fracking, abolishing fossil fuel, crushing American energy, and economic surrender to China is a prescription for economic. And with regard to banning fracking, I just recommend that people look at the record. You yourself said repeatedly that you would ban fracking. You were the first Senate co-sponsor of the Green New Deal.
And as the last tidbit, a very large fly landed on Mike Pence's head for almost 2 minutes, right here, when he spoke on racial injustice, which sparked several Twitter jokes and memes. Here's a look.
Is a great insult to the men and women who serve in law enforcement. And I want everyone to know who puts on the uniform of law enforcement every day that President Trump and I stand with you. And it is remarkable that when Senator Tim Scott tried to pass a police reform bill,
This was, however, the first and last vice presidential debate. There are 2 remaining presidential debates between Donald Trump and Joe Biden scheduled on 15th and 22nd October, so please do stick around for our coverage on that. Until then, this is Pia for ThePrint. For more, visit theprint.in and do follow us on social media.